order the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue Board of Directors meeting for Thursday, January 16th. It is 4:16. Rick is temporarily out taking a phone call, but we will go ahead and start anyway. This meeting is being streamed live on Central Coast YouTube channel, and if anyone has public comments or questions, they can comment on the live stream, and the questions will be relayed to the board members and answered at the end of the meeting. Can we have a roll call? He's temporarily excused, but he's here.
He's here.
Who is here? Rita Eckerman,
Here.
John McCullough.
Here.
Greg Dunn,
Here.
Quorum is present.
Okay, let's go ahead and have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. This is the regular session minutes from November 21st. Everyone had a chance to review them. Anyone have any questions or comments or revisions?
Yep. I motion we approve the minutes from the last meeting.
And I second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from November 21st. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Citizen participation. We don't have any citizens. Okay, how about reports?
I'm not gonna get into the whole tender thing, that's still being looked at and why, but yes, I submitted my invoice to Rosenbauer, so the total will be recovered along with the starter we purchased. And I'm also, although we weren't able to send it down, we are going to get a little bit of money back from it, as well as now the other plus side is I can get Rosenbauer stuff.
So why don't you explain to those watching what happened?
Well, it's, so basically, it sounded like the truck, felt like the truck went into neutral. Without really getting into details, it basically sheared some bolts off underneath. So that's what they're looking at. They don't know exactly why or how or what, but the training was coming out today. They're gonna figure that out. That's why it got towed here. We initially thought it was a starter. Even Rosenbauer did, so we replaced the starter. It's a lot deeper and a lot more catastrophic problem. Luckily, it is a Freightliner warranty. So between Freightliner and Rosenbauer, this is going to get reimbursed for what my time and the time spent on parts and stuff, so.
Including the tow.
Including all those tow trucks.
And just so everyone knows, this is the new vehicle we just got.
Yeah.
Brand new vehicle.
Yeah.
We don't want to say a whole bunch about it until we know what
Right.
happened with it. Because, if there's a concern that it could happen to the other ones, we don't want false information going out that, now everybody's got to worry about their transmission.
Right, yeah.
We don't know.
It may be an
So-
isolated incident.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very possible, it's just our luck of the draw that it happened on our truck, but, so until we know exactly what happened, I don't wanna really get into details.
Right.
So
Right.
It's not out there.
It was on its way to a deployment, and it had a malfunction, and it is now being looked at.
Very good. Okay, what other reports do we?
Do you want me to do volunteer?
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't have anything on the admin side, other than, actually, I do. Sorry. We have, I have finished setting up SDAO on our Target Solutions, Vector Solutions, whatever they want to call it. It used to be Safe Personnel. It's our free version of training for HR stuff. I will be getting Rick and John are already in it, but I will be getting Rita and Greg into it. You can do your annual HIPAA stuff in there. But there's also a section in there where you'll be able to do some of the actual board online training. And the nice thing about this is it tracks it for our best practices for the discounts on our insurance. So SDIS will actually, there's a whole category that shows SCIS, board member training, and then even like the staff and volunteers, there's ones that we can do in there that'll help give us our discounts. They'll automatically track it, so when Chief gets the survey, it'll already be in there for that. So you'll get an email with that information, and basically what I'll do is I'll send you the HIPAA, and that'll give you the email on how to log in initially, and then you can just do that on your own, so. On a volunteer side, we are gonna probably delay bingo one more month, because we have we forgot that we had prior engagements that happens to fall on the same night as bingo, so we're gonna delay it till March. That'll also give us some extra times to get more donations in for the raffle drawings, things like that. We'll discuss that more at our, not this coming Monday, but the following Monday at our meeting. And then we are bringing on 3 new volunteers.
Yes, we do actually, well, prior discussion, they live here, so they're.
2 live here, 1 doesn't.
Oh, yeah, that's right, one's out of district one, so 2 live here.
We
So,
have-
we're just bringing them up to speed, and so.
Good. All right. Financial report, Brett?
Did you get the balance sheet?
Yes.
Apologize for that, out of my control.
How's your blood pressure?
Yeah, anyway, dirty words.
Blood
So,
pressure or financial report?
Pardon me?
Said blood pressure or financial report?
No, for the company that software produced this. Anyway. Cash on hand at the end of December, $1,079,236, and of that, $315,503 will be going to Government Capital Corporation.
Yeah.
So we really only have about $763,000 on account. Current levy funds, we've received almost 94% of that, $1,064,417. So that's come in pretty good. Prior levy funds are almost at budget for the year, 17,372. So we should surpass it, I would think. Conflagration, we brought in $67,793. Personnel services, if you take out Conflag and OSFM, $571,680.77. So we're at about right at 60% of the budget. So legal services, 328, nothing there. Medical director, let me see. Vehicle fuel, 7,823. So that's about right on target with the budget. Vehicle repair is pretty accelerated, $15,016.39. We're already over budget, just by 16,000, but it's pretty substantial. Minor equipment, a lot of that is tools and things like that, 3,207. And the only other thing, the boat, not counting the trailer or the jet ski, or the $4,110. So we're well over budget on that for this year.
Anybody have any questions or comments?
I motion we approve the bills, is that what? And
Yeah, accept
paid the
Pay the bills and accept the budget,
Yeah.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the financial report and approve paying the bills. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Anything under old business?
Nope.
Okay. And anything under new business?
Only thing we put under there was just anything that came out of the workshop, if it did need a vote. So
Okay.
nothing came out of the workshop that needed a vote, so.
Chief's report.
So for the report, my report, starting with grants. So we submitted 2 AFG grants. One was for an engine, like we have for the last few years. The other was for a, not facilities upgrade specifically, but it's stuff that goes in the facilities that are upgraded. So it'd be a air fill station and a port account, mass fit testing computer. So, those
Ooh,
are,
doing
those are
it in-house now?
Yeah, we'd be able to not have to rent a machine every year. We'd have our own machine.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
And then we would be able to take the air fill system off of the rescue and make more space on the rescue for tools and stuff, and just have a permanent one here in the building. So, and it'd be all in one, so we wouldn't have to worry about, you know, the air tanks being bolted to the wall or anything like that, like back in the past. So, we have the FEP grant. It's just going back and forth between ODF and myself with getting the proof of the work that we did on the heavy brush. They want proof that we paid for the stuff, like the light bar and the wrap and all that kind of stuff. So we're just trying to finish that up, and then they'll give us the check for that. That's already an awarded grant. We're just finishing up the details on it. I got an email from Congresswoman Hoyle's office that said with the change in legislature, they pulled the bill back, I guess, and then it has to be pushed through with the new legislature, so they're hoping to hear something by March, but we're still just gonna have to sit and wait for that money to come in. As far as they've said, they're still pushing it forward, it's still in the list, it's still gonna go forward as long as the bill gets pushed through, so it should be coming someday, we just don't know. So, current surplus, the fire hose went on surplus, it ends tomorrow.
Yeah, they all went tomorrow.
And so there's bids, there were, what, a dozen bids on there?
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's like $300 or something.
No, it's 500 when I ordered it today. So it's going up because it's at the final part of the auction, so it's the, you know, the last few people who are fighting for it are gonna start going back and forth now. Same thing with the water rescue PPE that we've had on the shelf for a while. It's on surplus, and it's also had some bids, so it's sold, it's just,
$720.
yeah. So there'll be a little bit of money coming in on that stuff. Honestly, the money that's coming in is gonna be less than if we took the time and the dump fees to go and dump it at the dump ourselves, so, you know, but, we're gonna start working on the first draft of the budget beginning in February. It's that time. I've asked, you know, for John and Rick to be helping in that a little bit more hands-on this year. So the board's not just getting it from me for the first time in May, basically. Election, we had the workshop for the election process. I think we've got some plans going forward and some things we have to research, so we'll work on that. The Corona Court Station, so our engine 75 is in the Corona Court Station. That makes the station a fire station again, which meets the requirements for ISO. Yahats has local government law group putting the agreement together for us. I signed the conflict waiver a couple weeks ago. They signed the conflict waiver. And so hopefully we'll have an agreement to at least start to look at here relatively soon. And then once we get that signed, everything's back to green status, if you will.
Okay.
South Lincoln Resources, when these auctions end tomorrow, the people who won the auctions have 10 days to come pick everything up. When they come pick everything up, then we'll be completely out of SLR at that point. And the only thing that will be left in there is whatever CERT still has in there. So, and I haven't been up there last week to know, have they moved anything out? Have you looked?
No, they haven't moved anything else.
Okay, so
I know
certainly.
they were up going through stuff last week, I believe.
Well, then,
They would
I did
sort-
not look at it this week, so if it
Yeah,
happened
they were
last
going,
week.
I don't know if they actually moved anything out, but they were going through it.
Yeah,
The only stuff we have left up there is the stuff that's on surplus. And there wasn't any point in moving it from point A to point B. It's gonna get picked up by somebody that buys it and go back out, so it'll be gone soon. That's about it. You know, the two biggest things obviously going forward is getting ready for the election and the budget. That's gonna be most of my time. I am working on the brick grant for getting the fire station placed up on the hill. We were moved past the first phase. We're now in the second phase, which is the sub-applicant phase. So I am now on FEMA Go doing a sub-application to try to get through that phase. It is very long and requires a lot of narratives. So I'm going to be working on that between the next 2 months also, quite a bit. So those are probably the three most time-consuming things I'm going to have on my desk for the next few months. So
Keep you out of mischief.
I prefer the mischief. So,
That means there'll be the same things on my desk.
yes, it does. Any questions from my report?
We
Questions in
came up
general?
with a date yet for a
What?
joint board?
Oh, so the date that was given to me was the 21st, which I believe is next Tuesday. I think he said that you two had already confirmed.
Well, we just didn't have a time because it started 4, then they said 5, and I said.
I think it's
my-
supposed to be 5.
Okay, my comment to them was,
Yeah.
when chief and you decide what time, I'll plan 4. So is it 5?
Yes.
5 on
So
the
is it-
21st.
It says 5 PM on the
Okay,
21st.
I need to have my CPR done by 5 PM.
On the 21st, we can do that. Well, we're doing it at 10, so.
So
No,
the-
we're
We'll be
doing
done
it
by
2,
then.
you said, or is it 10?
I thought you said 10.
I'll say whatever you want. You just tell me what time to be there.
So he said you two had already said you were good with it, so I just need to know
Well,
that you.
I
and-
was good with it.
Yeah.
I just
I
needed to
assume
know it's
you
4 or
were good.
5.
It's a
with that,
Tuesday,
so.
it's one of my days off, so.
You
I-
guys saw the emails, right? Because they were going to all of you.
Yes. I asked him, I said, Rita's off on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
good with it.
So 5 o'clock, the 21st.
5.
Yes.
Okay, I'll put it in.
Okay. We will
Pretty sure I
be
have
there.
you down at 10, Rick.
Well, if it's 10, I'll be here at 10.
Okay. We'll double
Okay,
check.
under good of the order,
Something
Hmm?
to
Oh.
consider, and I don't know for sure if it matters or not, but because there are 4 of you and 2 of you sit on the city council, in order for there to be a quorum for the fire district, one of you needs to wear a fire district hat. I don't know.
We'll talk it out.
it's a workshop. I don't think it's going to matter.
Oh, that's right, it's a workshop.
Decisions
It's a
can't,
workship.
'Cause no decisions are
can't
being
be
made.
made, so it's
Yeah.
not,
That's why we made it
it's
a
not
workshop.
requiring a quorum body.
Yeah.
Can we have a workshop if only
We
2
ha-
board members show?
Yes, we can have a workshop, because it's a joint workshop.
Okay.
So I think we're fine, I think
Nothing's
we're.
being voted on.
Yeah,
so-
that's why we
Yeah.
did it as a workshop.
I'm just
Right.
bringing it up for due diligence.
Yes, no, I appreciate that.
Because I
but
don't
no,
want somebody
that-
trying
that
to call
is-
and say that we
Yeah.
were doing illegal because we didn't have a quorum
Yeah.
or something like that, so.
The other thing that was brought to Greg and I is because we're at that meeting, they have requested, and I have agreed to, and I told Chief, that we will not, we will engage, but we're not going to, because we already know what you're gonna talk about. You're gonna be talking to 5 other board members,
Mhm.
5 other council members. You don't have to talk to Greg and Rick, because we're not gonna make interaction with it. They're gonna be interacting.
Okay.
And I told them, I'm fine with that, you know, I'm not, I've already told them what
Yeah.
to expect when they walk in the room. I said, Greg and I'll be there, you know, and we'll listen. And if somebody says, Rick said, I'm gonna say, then I'll talk. Say, no, I didn't.
I will be sitting off to the side and speak when spoken to.
Yeah, well, and that's where Dan will be. Don't sit next to him, you guys will fight.
We'll be all right.
Okay,
And just to clarify, who's taking the lead with this? So we're gonna have the city council sitting across from us, or, you know, or we're gonna be at a table, or however.
Mhm.
I think it's over there.
yeah, it's
and
gonna be
do
over there.
that. It's kinda like. it's-
We're the ones who
it's-
requested the
It's
the
us
workshop.
talking to them.
I think so.
And then.
So more likely, you'll be taking the lead.
Right, that's what I'm
The fire
asking,
department
is
will.
that it's not gonna be, like, obviously, it's not gonna be Chief or Dan. They're gonna be in a
It will
room.
not be chief.
No.
It will not be chief.
Well, and odds are that Dan will probably facilitate, but only to the extent of,
Getting the thing started.
getting the thing started. But it's going to be the dialogue between.
Is it being held at City Hall?
It is, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole purpose of it is for the fire board to meet the city council.
Mhm.
And the city council to understand why you're asking for this, and then basically.
Yep.
Me and Rick already know.
We've
It's for the other people.
explained it until we're blue in the face. Now it's your turn. Okay.
Okay, and under the good of the order, do we want to talk about the suggestion that came from our office staff earlier regarding the cost savings of going to an electronic version?
Yes, I like that idea.
I like the idea. It's,
It's permanent, it honestly makes a better permanent record, after the first year of investment. Every other year there is it's a complete savings of something in the order of $600.
I think staff said they spend $600 on paper
So-
roughly a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of, because Brett wasn't here, just to kind of bring Brett up, is we were talking about under my office supply budget, because I've done fairly well this year, is purchasing tablets that will be used just for basically turning this into their thing, but it'll have like a central email, like where you can send like the financials and stuff to for them as well. They'll still get emailed out their packet, but it'll basically turn their board books into an electronic version where we can add different aspects to it in the future, but save us money, because we had it figured out, it's costing us about $50 every board meeting, so about $600 a year just in supplies.
Not to mention staff time and so on, with
Yeah.
putting the bottom.
So this is just
Packets together.
electronically held?
Basically,
Yeah.
basically just, yeah, turning their board books into an electronic book.
So does that mean that they'd have a tablet?
Yes.
It's
Little
just a
tablet.
tablet that
Who pays
stays,
for the tablet?
that.
You do. No,
The
just
the
kidding.
district, the district paid,
Coming out of your wages,
Yeah.
buddy.
the district purchases the tablets,
Yeah.
I see,
but the tablets reside here. They're
understand.
They'll
provided
stay-
to
they'll
the
stay here,
board,
yeah.
I think it's a
you
great
know,
idea.
they're provided to the board for the purpose of the meetings.
Right.
That way, there's no trying to get the tablet back from someone when they leave and that sort of thing, kind of thing going
I
on
think it's
too.
So basically, it'll take a year
So,
to recoup, because, but
About-
after that
about a
first
and a
year,
Yeah,
half,
sure.
yeah.
then it's
It-
savings.
It's
Startup
also saving paper, it's putting less wear and tear on our printer, you know.
saving staff time, allowing
Yeah.
for last minute
Yeah.
updates.
Well, I do,
Your tablets will have all the documents as PDFs right on the front screen, and as you go through the agenda, you'll just move from PDF to PDF, basically. That's it.
I think we were asking too that the policy and procedure manual.
Yeah, we
You know,
can,
so that we have to, or the ORSs, we have to click on those and look through those. We can
You want
find
the
them.
Attorney
They'll all be
General public
uploaded
meeting
onto-
laws on
But
there
we won't
too?
be able to play games on them or anything
God.
else.
I think, everything's going digital anyway, so you may
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Downside is if the power's out, no good,
Well, they're.
I mean,
They
if you
usually have a battery
For a
backup.
while.
They're batteries.
Yeah, they're battery operated.
If
We
you
just-
were
we
here
just
and you
make-
had
we
the
just
ba-
make the
the
meeting
power
shorter.
Shows
went
that we're not having a meeting anyway, so.
Well, I'm just saying, overall,
Yeah.
it's like Bitcoin, what are you gonna do when the power goes out?
Yeah,
You know?
What's Bitcoin? Not just,
but they'll,
So are you gonna?
they'll
ask
So
show
I'm
up
gonna ask-
under
yeah.
office supplies to come out of the office supplies line item. on there.
Or we just move it to, it probably should keep it under software, hardware.
Or that too, yeah,
817,
whichever.
just,
Yeah.
I mean, it
But we can
definitely
realign
falls-
the budget.
It definitely falls well under the thresholds for, you know,
Well, it's,
to
yeah, it's
ask.
definitely,
But
it's,
but the fact that we're changing the
Being
way
tran-
we're
we just
gonna
want to
be
be
doing
transparent.
business.
right.
Yeah.
This is why I wanted to bring it up and discuss it, you know, at the board meeting, and ask for a motion.
I motion that we switch over from paper to digital.
I'll second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded to switch over from paper to digital. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Is there anything else to come before the board?
Charlie, did you have a union report?
I think the only thing that the union had was that we were gonna go up, just like we discussed during the things, so I tried to set up a meeting with the Tidewater community people, just to talk to, and see what's going on up there.
Did I think I brought up, my wife was telling me, I don't know if everyone's on GovX.
Yeah.
You can get a free cruise being a first responder.
Yeah, it's been around for a while.
Yeah,
What's up?
GovX, you get a free cruise.
I think everybody already has.
As long as it's not during fire season, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which fire season?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's what I was thinking.
It's not typical
Okay,
in
with
January.
nothing further to come before the board, meeting's adjourned.
Was there any citizen?
Yeah,
Do we qualify?
Huh?
As board members, as long as you're happy with that?
Are you part of that?
Huh?
Are you part-